Alrighty then. Where were we? Trial time, right? Yep. I'm just gonna be checking some fruit bullets to refresh my mind, and then we're gonna proceed to the trial. Let me just refresh. I'm gonna skip this part. Alrighty, I'm done reading. Let's go. Start the trial. Here we go. In session. Now then, let's begin with a brief explanation of the class trial. The outcome of the class trial is decided by your votes. You point out the blank and only they will get punished, but in case you point out the wrong one, everyone will get punished and the one who deceived everyone else will graduate from this academy. Also, this translation is brought to you by Zephy, so please give a heartfelt like to the channel on YouTube and have fun. Yep, you heard the guy. So we have to find the culprit who killed Kanata and Yamaguchi-kun, right? That's right, boop boop boop. Now then, you may start your discussion. You know, this is a little bit awkward, but can Kinjo lead again? I could keep you on top of my reasoning, but unfortunately, I won't be very helpful this time either. I investigated in a hurry, but I don't know the details of the case, and there are several parts that I could not investigate. Because you got beaten and knocked out by the killer, right? Then we have no choice but to do it ourselves as much as possible. It's gonna be a miracle if Mikaro helps us. Now it'll be fine. If we keep talking, we'll reach an answer, right? When you start discussing, Kinjo might find out something too. I hope so. Then let's do it as far as we can. This case has been far more different than the others, unlike Maki or Tomori, who died suddenly while we couldn't see them. The murder took place right in front of us. Yeah, that too. We know because two people were killed on different floors. I think the people on each other's floors will have different information. That was when Kinjo faded at that time. Then it's best to listen to everyone as much as possible. We'll begin with the summary of the case. Satsuki will help too. The people who survived the second floor and the people who checked the third floor saw and heard differently, so we have to gather information. Kobe Shikawa said Kinjo doesn't know anything, so let's explain the incident and sort out the order in which the incident occurred. First, before BDA rang this morning, Maeda, Tara, Ironami, Otori, and I were waiting for everyone to gather at the restaurant. After 1 hour, Mikako-chan arrived, but the rest were not coming at all, so we felt something was wrong and decided to find Kanata-chan and Yamaguchi-kun. Then on the second floor, we found Urihara fainted, and fortunately, he was able to come to his senses. But right after that, on the third floor, there was a strange sound that went wild. So we decided to act in two groups, the second floor investigation group and the third one. Kurikawa, Urihara, and me on the third floor. And as for the second one, it was Taira, Kobushikawa, Otori, and Ironami who took over it. Alright, so you're saying the viewpoint diverges from there, is that right? In my case, I had a rough story from the others in charge of the second floor investigation, but there are probably many others who don't know about it yet. Shall Maeda, Kurikawa, and me talk about the third floor first? We went up to the third floor, and then each of us decided to check a room. Maeda went to the art room, the epicenter of the strange sounds. I checked the science lab, and Kurikawa decided to check the rest of the rooms. The empty classrooms and casino. There was nothing wrong. Like Urihara said, I headed to the art room, where I was able to confirm the identity of the strange noise. The sound that was coming from inside the locker. What I found in it was Mikaro's hands and feet tied up. Inside the art room locker was Mikaro, with her mouth taped and her limbs were bloody, and she was kicking the locker door to try to open it. That was what the roaring sound was. Mikaro was trapped? And bloody too? Wait, she wasn't in a position to talk to the others either? This incompetent child, I won't let this go so easily. Why me? I was just trying to organize the case. Maeda went to the art room and came along with Mikaro and wondered how he found her. She must have been trapped. While at that time the situation was so urgent that there were some things that could not be explained properly. But why was Mikaro found like that? Why, you ask? I was taken off guard by the killer. You also say that you were caught off guard. Don't worry, unlike the cop over there, I didn't give a damn. What do you mean? Don't mind to continue the discussion. I'll tell you after I watch you guys shovel some more. You really are a piece of... Isn't there even cooperativeness in here anymore? Ignore Mikhail and keep talking. Even if you don't know, I have to reason based on what I heard just now. Yeah, then I'll continue. After taking Mikhail out, we came out through the corridor, then Kurokawa and Uehara called out, mentioning the science lab door was not opening. As I said earlier, I went to investigate the science lab, but the door was tightly closed and couldn't be opened. In my attempt, I tried to force it open, but it was no use. The effort didn't seem good at all, so Kurokawa joined, who came from investigating the other places. Yeah, there was even a scream coming out from the science lab. The four of us who were on the third floor all focused on opening the door, and finally, we succeeded in opening the door to it. Mikhail was the one who succeeded opening the door to it. Was Kanara-chan dead? Yeah, that's why she's one of the victims. Shortly after, the body discovery announcement came out. Everyone knows by now from seeing Inori's body, but it was so horrible that she was shocked to death and she couldn't even move from there. But the crime didn't end there. Yeah, it came out again. Another BDA. That's Yamaguchi's BDA that we found in the library, right? In order to see what has transpired, we went to the second floor and joined you guys. We also checked Yamaguchi's body. That's all from our report and the third floor investigation team. As for us who checked the second floor, are no different. Each of the four were put to investigate the classroom, and I, who went to the library, found Yamaguchi-kun and Kiju-kun, and then the rest of the guys discovered the corpse one after another, and then the BDA rang. So roughly, that's how the case played out. Yeah, at first glance it's like a murder case, just like two people died overnight and we found them one after another, but the biggest problem with this case is that the killing was this morning the same day. They went to the same area as us, even the same hour, and committed a murder. Is that, you mean the estimated time of death in the Monokuma file? That's right, according to the Monokuma file, Yamaguchi and Inori died at the time we were investigating the second and third floors. I realize this, but as much as we've been acting in pairs and working with each other, we can prove everyone's alibi. That's not the only thing weird, right? When the science lab door was closed, we heard Inori scream clearly with the door in between. But when we opened the door, there was no one inside. Now wait a minute, that's the same for us. The place where Uehara-kun was found, it was near the staircase of the second floor. To get out of the library after killing Yamaguchi-kun, you must pass through here, so you couldn't have missed them. When you went to search the library, did you go right away after breaking with the others who went to the third floor? Yeah, when I went to the library, Yamaguchi-kun was already dead. If the culprit killed them in the library, I couldn't have missed that. And even if we say they secretly came out, Kanara-chan was killed too, to go up the third floor, they would have to pass Maeda-kun, right? All these things don't make any sense. I didn't ask for that, don't jump ahead. Huh? Oh, yeah, sorry. What are you sorry for? You don't have to apologize to that guy. That's how Kinjo is. He doesn't like Chiro anyway, so don't worry. Everyone else is not thinking badly of you, okay? Oh, it's alright, Kobushikawa-kun. No matter what others say, it is true that I stabbed Kizuna-chan, and it is true that Ayami-chan because of me. God damn, my throat hurts. Why? I don't deserve to say anything else. If you know that, then let's continue. I also don't want to waste my time talking about bitter stuff, even in class trials. So then the biggest issue right now is how did they go back and forth without any of us noticing in that short time? Yeah, Inori and Yamaguchi's time interval was only of 5 minutes. It is definitely possible to kill in two places that's separated by different floor levels. It looks like that. But is that really how it happened? Let's think about based on what we investigated. I may have found the secret of this challenge. Skip. I'm getting dizzy. In that short time avoiding all of our eyes, it's impossible to kill two people. Not necessarily. Yamaguchi was killed after. Do you know what it was that killed Inori? Electrocution by stun gun? Maybe it was the stun that does make electric body shock gets a body. But it's not close to the body, so it wasn't affected by it. Really, if you think about the scene, can't you think of anything else? Oh crap. Suspicious stun gun that killed Inori is definitely a melee weapon. However, the stun gun is a suppression weapon, not a lethal weapon, so the killer didn't directly target the stun gun. But what special circumstances was used? Special circumstances in which Inori can be electrocuted even if they're not in the crime scene. Crap, what the fuck? Wait, fucking! My truth bullet wasn't loaded. Son of a bitch. This is fucking bullshit. There you go. Fucking. Oh god. No, the weapon that killed Inori was definitely a stun gun. It may not have been a direct hit from a stun gun. It wasn't a direct hit, but the weapon was a stun gun? Are you saying some kind of ghost hit then? Have you all been to the science lab at least once? Wasn't the sea of water enough to overflow the corridor? At first I was wondering why they needed to do this. The fact that the science lab was turned into a sea of water, Inori was electrocuted. What was the cause to make this happen? I feel like Kanata can submerge in water and drop the stun gun. You can cause an electric shock without touching the stun gun directly. But wait a moment, the stun gun itself is just a suppression tool. It doesn't come out with enough voltage to kill people in no time. Of course, that also depends on the device. However, if you allow water to pass electricity, it will be left enough for a person to pass through their body. Yeah, if that were the case, wouldn't the killer be able to electrocute indirectly with water, even if they didn't use the stun gun with their hands? No, wait, man, your reasoning has a bunch of flaws. What's wrong all of a sudden, Kobushikawa? Listen, I tried to reason my head wrapped around this crime for a while, but this logic is so wrong that it just doesn't fit. I've always been beaten by Maeda, but today I won't lose to you. You're arguing for such a useless reason? Useless? You say it was useless? Fine then. Maeda, unfortunately for you, I found out what's wrong with your reasoning. Now then. This is my chance to point out your mistake. Sure, what was the controls again? Son of a bitch. Nice one. God damn it. Oh well. Position the stun gun was submerged. You can electrocute the body without touching it, yeah. In order to get into the water, someone should be in the science lab, okay. After all, it does go change back and forth, second floor to third floor. Yeah. No, not necessarily. If you only drown the stun gun, you can operate it remotely. That's impossible, only with superpowers. The stun gun moved on its own and fell on the water? Unless there is a tool that really moves on its own. Mobile phone. Finally, fair scoring. Kabashikawa, maybe there may be one. A tool that moves by itself. What? In fact, the science lab's stun gun wasn't just dropped there. Next to it, a mobile phone was connected with a strap. The cell phone? You mean the one that Uehara discovered? Yeah, that's right, Maki's mobile phone. It was the one that disappeared and you said it was there? Also, you said it was a self-moving tool? Why does that cell phone matter? Actually, it matters because it has a vibration function that was used. Kinjo is right, the phone had alarm settings just before we heard Inori's scream. Yeah, that's right, I understood this now. So you connected the strap to the phone. Why is the alarm function related to moving? Am I the only one who doesn't understand? Huh? Uehara, a vibration alarm function, you don't know what that is? Oh right, Uehara lived in the mountains, so you don't know the achievements of society. Let the civilized people tell you then. I did not live in the mountains. Uehara, what I wanted to explain was that they drowned the stun gun using the phone's alarm function. The phone and the stun gun were connected by a strap. Probably the killer set the alarm at the time when the stun gun was about to be drowned and placed the phone in the corner as if it were about to fall on the edge of the desk. When this happens, the alarm goes up at the preset time and the vibration function occurs. The cell phone moves little by little due to the vibration and eventually falls from the desk to the floor. I see, I understand now. So the stun gun that was connected to the cell phone fell along with it? What do you think, Komashikawa? With this, it is possible to electrocute Inori remotely without anyone in the science lab, right? Yeah, I lost. I didn't want to lose this time, but I lost to Maeda again. If people like Kinjo don't know, Maeda will be able to win. Is it a problem to win and lose now? Take it seriously. This is a class trial. I know that, but who would know about this? I only argued once because I thought my reasoning was better than Maeda's. It's fine, don't fight. Now we have to focus on revealing the culprit's crimes first. Why am I mediating now? So Kanata-chan was electrocuted remotely, using a cell phone in the flood, right? Say, you found out that phone has an alarm function? Even if it is the type of phone, these days it looks like an old 2G phone. My question would be, is it waterproof? Waterproof? The fact that the stun gun fell into the water means that the cell phone that was connected to it also dropped. The old cell phones would probably break because of the water. No, rather the cell phone was floating on the floor of the science lab and it was in a broken state. The time was displayed was strange, and the colors of the screen had strange marks and lines. We just found out that an alarm was set among other features that were still functional. So you can't use any other functions again. That's a little disappointing. Even if it's out of signal, it was still a mobile phone that could bear a clue in the future. Hey, aren't you guys leaning down the road too much? If the problem is sorted out, let's move on to the next step if Inori's problem was already cleared up. We've still yet to hear a lot more from this case. Alright, as long as the killer can do remote killing using their cell phone and a floor of water, they don't have to run directly on the second and third floors. I see, if you set it up in advance, the rest just needs Inori tied up so that she cannot move on from that spot. They may have used a lot of tape for that purpose. It seems so, but if that's true, then what happened to Yamaguchi? Huh? Is there anything amiss? The culprit did the killing themselves. Wait a second, even if Kanata-chan is clear, is it the same with Yamaguchi-kun? When I discovered him in the library, there was only Kinjo who fell down. If Tara's words are true, it would certainly be impossible to get out of the library without being noticed. The time of death was 8:40 in the first place, and it's impossible for any of us to kill at that time. Maeda-kun, Uehara, and Mikako-chan were to the third floor, so it's impossible. Satsuki-chan, Kabashikawa-kun, Atori, and I confirmed each other on the second floor, so it's all too far-fetched. And Kinjo and Mikaro were in the state of being beaten by the killer? Then who is the killer? A ghost? No, wait, wouldn't it be possible for him? You, Kinjo. Kinjo, well, but Kinjo was hit by the killer in the head, right? No, I feel bad for Kinjo, but think of it as a terms for elimination. Kinjo and Mikara are the only ones who have no alibi at the time of the crime. Then Mikara is a suspect too? They were in the art room though. It's too far from there, but Kinjo was found right in the library where Yamaguchi was dead. So you're saying that he being knocked out was a self-made play? But even I saw that the wound was quite severe to be a self-play, and I tried to heal it. Wasn't that prepared? If you're guilty in the first place, you'll get executed and die, but it's about hurting yourself. Isn't it possible for the criminal to get out simply by faking being a victim? Okay, so you all consider me to be the culprit. That's... Do you really think I did the murder? If you say that, it only sounds like an excuse. If you're not the culprit, why don't you refute it logically? Isn't that your specialty? Because I really was fainted, I was lacking information. I'm not able to refute something that you think it's reasonable. What? This is maybe... Kinjo, are you declaring your defeat? I'll ask for this confirmation. Yamaguchi's time of death is 8:40. It was written in the Monokuma file, so it's accurate. And as soon as you went up to the second floor and scattered for an investigation, Yamaguchi was already dead in the library. Yeah, I guarantee this. You know that if you can't refute it, you'll confess that you're the culprit, right? Kinjo, is he really the culprit? A person of justice or a character who doesn't forgive criminals? I have to leave this emotion and look at things objectively. Is it true that only Kinjo and Mikara are without alibis and could have committed the crime? But as you think about this more, it's possible that we concluded this way too early. Dizzy. Dizzy, dizzy, dizzy. Dizzy, 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 dizzy. The only one who could do this is Kinjo. You're free to believe me or not, but I was knocked out by the killer. That might be your own trick. Excuse me. Killed Yamaguchi in the library in the spot. What about the library bloodbath though? That's a lot of blood. And there's no blood on Kinjo. Cool. Kabashikawa, wait a minute, is that really true? You're asking if it's true? What do you mean? Kabashikawa just said it. He killed Yamaguchi, who was in the library on the spot. That conclusion may have been wrong. What do you mean? It was the same logic as in Maki's case. There's no guarantee that the murder took place where the body was found. Huh? Then you mean he wasn't killed in the library? I think that's more likely. Because of the bloodstains, they were dragged from outside. If Yamaguchi was really dead in the library at the beginning of the day, it would be an impossible crime. Then where is it? Where did Yamaguchi die? I'm not really sure. Maybe it was in the art room? The art room? That's so far away. The main stage of this case is likely to be the science lab and the library. In fact, it may not be an exaggeration to say that the art room is more important than these two. The reason why the art room is an important place and why Yamaguchi might have died in the art room other than the library. I saw that tool, and though it is very little, that's a lot of blood on it. Alright, the spear thingy. Yeah, plaster weapon. There were some plaster weapons in the art room. It's made of stone, but if you cut its edge fairly sharply enough and swing it as a weapon, it becomes such a spear that you can really cut easily on human flesh. No way! That spear made of stone was the thing that killed Yamaguchi-kun? It probably is, because one of the plaster weapons had a blood spot. Wait a second, Yamaguchi died in the art room, but was he there? Isn't it a bit hard to say he died there? He could have been killed in the library and put back in that place for a while, right? That's not possible. There was a plastic wrap with blood in the trash can from the art room. A plastic wrap? Kinjo found it too. You didn't have much time to investigate it. That's right, so I couldn't realize that the plastic weapon had blood on it. I just listened to Amanda's theory and found out its connection. Then how was the plastic wrap used? As Amanda said, if there is blood on the plastic weapon, there's a high chance that the murder weapon is this. The Monokuma file also said, something sharp. If so, the killer would have killed Yamaguchi with wrap around the blade of the shedding. Hey, you said the wrap was covered in blood, right? I mean, is that a tool to prevent blood from getting into the weapon? I realize that, but isn't there something odd? They used the wrap to keep the blood from getting into, but Maeda said the plastic weapon had blood on it. Isn't that contradictory? Did I not mention this? It wasn't just spread, it was faintly spread. That was not an ordinary blood mark, it was an oval, round blood mark, the size of a nail. Oh, how can blood be like that? I see, I understand after listening to Maeda. It was a simple accident to get blood on the plaster weapon. An accident? I don't know how many people have gone through the trash cans in the art room, but if you've seen the plastic wrap, you know. In the wrap there was blood all over except in this one round hole. Oh, I see. If it were the original intention of the criminal, a spot of blood should not have been rubbed on the weapon. But somehow part of the wrap was torn. That's why the blood stain remained. Aha, then these two said the culprit killed Yamaguchi in the art room with the weapon that was in the art room. And then the evidence was put in the trash bin. That's great, these are excellent detectives. Wait a minute. I know the wrap prevents blood from splattering, I get it, but that could have been done in the art room. By bringing the wrap to the library, then do the killing, then dispose of the evidence in the art room. Of course you can see it that way, but it wasn't just a wrap that was in the art room's trash. Man, if you found out the wrap, you must have seen that thing too. How about you tell the others about that? That thing, you mean something that was thrown in the trash with the plastic wrap? That must be... this one, bloody white coat. It was hard looking for this thing. Kinjo, you mean Inoi's white coat? Indeed, Inoi's white coat with a lot of blood. As a result, Inoi's body was not wearing a white coat. Why was the coat in such a place? Wait a minute, Kanata-chan she died in a terrible manner, but she didn't bleed at all. But there's blood on it. I don't know why Inoi's white coat was in the art room, but one thing is certain, the killer used the white coat to wipe the blood off. Wipe it off? But isn't it still there? I could tell just by looking at the shape of the blood. In all likelihood, it's a blood stain that seems to have been rubbed with blood. At some point, you can see that it was used to destroy the evidence. Well, but it was Yamaguchi who shed blood, right? Where do you say they wiped the blood off? It's the art room itself. The art room had traces of blood on the floor. There were traces of blood left. As Kurokawa mentions, there are traces of blood wiped off the floor of the art room. I've even checked with the smell, so I'm sure. I see, I didn't know about it, but there was blood on the floor. If that's the case, it proves that they wiped the blood with a coat. Blood splattered on the floor of the art room? Someone mentioned this before, only Yamaguchi said blood. Then by process of elimination, that means the blood splattered in the art room is... when Yamaguchi-kun died in the art room. Indeed, that would be good enough for the reason we didn't find these on the second floor. This is Kenja after all. Even if we investigate for a few minutes, they will remain to solve all these cases. I can only put up my reasoning up to this point. Even if Yamaguchi died in the art room, the mystery still remains unsolved. What? Which mystery? No matter where the body died, what you saw with your own eyes was Kakeru Yamaguchi's body, who died in the library. Then the corpse must have been moved by the killer, which in turn means they somehow moved from the art room to the library. Oh, that's a surprise, Mikaru's helping us. How frustrating this is. Anyway, think carefully. Time of death of Kakeru Yamaguchi and the time until you found the body. Starting on the page. We recommended you hear about the spell bullet scan? Sure. In the case of an ordinary non-stop debate, multiple truth bullets are given. It's common to fire truth bullets suitable for the opponent's statement. In this case, however, we can scan a bullet from another friend's yellow statement. To make it your own to scan, press X. Okay, X? Alright. While pointing the yellow text. However, if there is no specific skill for this, a considerable delay given to the scan. And if a friend's words miss their scan, the scan will fail. Scanning a truth bullet doesn't mean it's the end. Because you got a truth bullet, there will be a correct answer. You need to refute it by using the scan truth bullet. Useful for the contrary blah 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 blah. Okay. Skip all comments and go back to the beginning, but in scan state, your speaking power will not be reduced. Oh, thank goodness. So you can refute the correct answer with confidence. Cool. If he was killed at 8:40, then that all leaves. It doesn't have the AM or PM thing, so it's kind of obvious which one. What's the mystery? The place where Yamaguchi died is the art room. He was at the art room around 8:40 time of death. That time we were already investigating the second floor. So always in the hallway there was no sign of anyone on the third floor. How did Yamaguchi teleport to the body? That is the mystery. Reasoning is possible, but that contradictions don't stop. Wrong time of death? There's no such stance because all that is read in the Monokuma file is true. Fingers yourself for drawing a blank here. It's bonkers. Why do murders always happen all the time? Day or night without cover. They still kill us, and the class trial is awful too. Let's think about it. Something might come up. Yeah. In our discussion right now, something important seems to have been misunderstood. It is clear that the place where Yamaguchi died is the art room around 8:40, except everything won't fit going back and forth. He did die in the art room, but there were blood stains in other places, and the body was moved to the library. Feels like everything was prepared in advance. There's only one thing that eliminates the possibility. It's the Monokuma file. The file has always been correct about its information, and this is no exception. There's no possibility that the Monokuma file was prepared in advance, as it informed the time of death. There you go. In that case, it's not Monokuma file that is wrong, it's us. We missed something very vital here. What we missed from the information provided in the Monokuma file, compared to the previous Monokuma files, information that was not added only for this file. If I think carefully about this, I will reach the answer. Bang.
Let's go you.
Cool. Day and night. Day and night? Guys, wait a second. Wait, there's something that bothers me. What's wrong, Maeda-kun? Does anyone have Yamaguchi's Monokuma file? I brought it the last time I checked. Why? Did you think of anything? Oh, it's raining hard. Holy shit. Kinjo, read what was written in that Monokuma file without any mistake. Please. Okay. The estimated time of death of the victim, Kakaru Yamaguchi, is about 8:40. Found in library. Sharply cut from back neck to uvula. Weapon is presumed to be something sharp. No other visible trauma. Something is weird, isn't it? Something is weird. What is? In this Monokuma file, it says the time of death is 8:40, but it doesn't say at all whether it is AM or PM. Yeah, huh? Eh? It's better than the police, am I right? It was like that? I don't understand what they're talking about. Teruya and Kobazing too. Explain it to us. What? Hey, why do you mention me and make me a fool? Did you understand then? Please explain, Maeda. Okay, think for a moment. In the Monokuma file we've seen so far clearly indicated whether it was in the morning or afternoon. If the victim is Kyoka Maki, the estimated time of death is about 6 AM. The body was found with her neck hanging in the women's bathroom in the dorm area. The cause of death is a bruise in her occipital region. Maybe she had a massive bleeding. The victim was Amari Kizuna, estimated time of death 9:30 PM. The body was found in the switch room, in the power room, on the second floor of the school. There's a long torn wound on her stomach and the bleeding is massive. Cause of this cut wound on the esophagus caused by a knife. It really is. AM or PM are not written in this Monokuma file. It was a blind spot. I'm sure the Monokuma file is the only one that says the truth, but it's not being mistaken. Rather, it was us. It's not 8:40 AM. The real time of incident took place the night before. It was 8:40 PM. Then Yamaguchi-kun, you're saying he was already dead since last night when we were walking around? Wait a minute, aren't we jumping too fast here? Just because it doesn't say whether it was at morning or at night, it's not enough to conclude that he died the night before. Maybe Monokuma forgot and missed it in the first place. No, it's not a jump or a leap. Rather, this case cannot be solved unless it's this way. At first, I was fainted, so I thought I was lacking information, but considering the premise of 8:40 PM, now the back and front have started to fit. Still. Or do you want to ask Monokuma then? Until now, the Monokuma files always recorded the time of death in the morning or afternoon, but is there any reason for omitting that point? Only on this occasion? Well, that's... No comment. If you ask me that, I will be the one in the trial. I've said it again and again. I've decided not to meddle with the trial. This is a big no. The Monokuma file always gives only the right information and based on it, helpful for reasoning. It's kind of a service system. But now because of the Monokuma file, it's causing a confusion of misinformation. It becomes a useless debate. I think this is a problem, Monokuma. Problem that I can't help you now. It is not saying anything wrong. I just can't tell you. Pretty sure this is it. Monokuma files always and only tell the truth, but some may have felt through this incident so far, right? According to the content of each case, the description of the content is adjusted according and properly orchestrated. It was orchestrated? In simpler terms, it's like this. For example, let's say the killer wants to implement a whole body trick for that purpose. In that case, in the Monokuma file would be he was drunk with XXX. Indeed, it's a delicate system that makes me sick. That's it. The Monokuma file is only a tool that helps in the investigation, not a tool to tell the truth. Because then you guys will pay the price. Seems like you wouldn't know unless you talk about it, but that means the culprit in this case wanted to hide the time of death. That's why the timelines are subtracted from the Monokuma file. Very strange, isn't it? What was that? I can't hear you. I don't know anything. La 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 la. It was bound to happen. In fact, because of this time trick, almost got us. Very badly, we were drastically wrong at those moments. Now, it certainly looks that way. But are we really sure? Without certain evidence, could be just an inference based on Monokuma's words and circumstances. Why are you so negative? Did someone stab you? It's not like that. I just want to be sure. Sure, it's not like we don't understand it. But, well, if that's the case, I'll be sure to submit evidence as Haruhiko said. Shall we try it? You have evidence? Yeah, before I used to think about whether this was done in the morning at night, but now I know the timeline trick and there was some solid evidence to support that claim. The question I felt during the investigation, I could feel it while I was examining Yamaguchi's body. If Yamaguchi was dead for a day, the cause of these questions are understandable. That question is his stop bleeding. The proof is simple. Yamaguchi's wound was not bleeding. Huh? That's not it, is it? It was because the library was a bloodbath. That's obvious. That is the case, but anyone who has examined the body in detail could have felt a sense of something misplaced. The blood is recent in contrast to the library. Yamaguchi himself, though, did not have a single drop of blood coming out from his neck cut. You saw that? I didn't really check the body in detail. Definitely felt strange too. When I heard about Yamaguchi's time of death and thought about it again, if things connected in some way. Then let's sort this out. The blood was far gone. Is that what it means? It's been some time since he died, so the blood already stopped? I see. It supports the idea that Yamaguchi was already dead yesterday evening. Wait a minute, please. Sure, that may be true, but what happened to the blood in the library? The blood was not dry and it was just flowing. The blood in the library is just a diversion for the criminal to make us think like Yamaguchi just died. The blood that filled the library was probably what the killer used. That tool would be in the infirmary. Yeah, remember the missing blood packs? Where is it? Yeah, there you go. You know there's a refrigerator in the infirmary that keeps blood transfusion packs? Oh, it was for storage of the transfusion packs. I think I brought one for the injured man to drink when he was thirsty. No, inside there are a lot of transfusion packs for each blood type. Found out during my investigation this morning that the blood transfusion packs inside were gone. I didn't know because I couldn't go to the infirmary as Mad said. You were in the infirmary though. The blood in the library. It was a pool of blood made by transfusion packs. It was a room of lies. It was like that. It was a little weird when you think about it. I think I saw too much blood. In the beginning, Yamaguchi must have been killed in the art room, but it's also strange that there was so much blood in the library. It can be said that they disguised him too much. From there, when it comes to the time of death, I have a guess. Meta, do you remember? When the trial was about to begin, we met in the hallway on the second floor, when I just woke up. Are you talking about that time? Yeah, I definitely told Meta about this. Right before being stunned by the killer, I saw Yamaguchi bleeding and fainted. What? Wait, obviously Kinzo was attacked, but... Of course, it was at night time yesterday. Then Yamaguchi-kun was... Monokuma files some bleeding, blood transfusion packs, and what Kinjo mentioned. I can only say that if the evidence comes out, one after another up to this point, then we can make sure of things properly. Alright then, now everyone knows for sure, Kakaru Yamaguchi was not dead at 8:40 this morning, but at 8:40 PM yesterday at night. So that's how it happened. Pretty good, Incompetent. I'll praise you on this one. I mean, you were locked up anyway, so you didn't know that. Shut up, don't pretend to be all smartass. But oh well, I'll admit it for a little bit. I know the killer as I said before, but I was not sure about the trick. I'll tell you that my gaze on the incompetent has changed about 0.1%. That was a compliment, right? I guess all the mysteries have been solved because Yamaguchi was already dead yesterday. The trick for ignoring was solved too. That also includes the movement of the blood spots and the corpses all over the place was indeed solved too. However, the real issue begins after this. Then who is the killer? That is a problem we have on our hands. Yeah, it's too early to be happy just yet. Even if we solve all the tricks, mysteries, and questions, if we don't know the culprit, then this is a bad outcome. If the contents so far are true, the criminal deliberately wanted to make 8:40 PM and 8:40 AM different. The timing was thoroughly calculated for the murder, right? Also spraying a blood transfusion pack and even had the guts to kill 2 people and attack up to 3 people in a single night. Yeah, this case is somewhat impulsive and different from the 2 previous cases, which are considered semi-accidents. I'm certain this was a planned murder committed with a crime. Kinjo's words are correct. Unlike the previous 2 incidents, I feel a firm malice. Are they really among us, a killer carefully murdered like this? Kinjo, what should we do in this case? If all the tricks are really solved, and if you only need to find the culprit, you should start with an alibi. Since you know the real time of death of Yamaguchi, you will naturally know who the killer is if you look at each alibi based on this. Alibi, you mean? Let's weigh each one. First of all, tell me what everyone did at 8:40 PM yesterday, the real time of death of Yamaguchi. Yesterday at 8:40 PM? At that time, surely wasn't it the time Tyra was making a fuss? Tyra's fuss? Oh, yeah, that. Tyra tried to kill herself last night. It's no big deal. Tyra just got hurt a little. I was there. It's irrelevant for the case. Mikako-chan. Right, so that leaves Kurokawa, Otori, and I, who were there. Hironami, Kubashikawa, and the 5 of us were supporting Chira. When I recall that, I think it was around 8:40 p.m. Okay, if so, I think we can remove the 6 of you from the suspect line. Good, so the only ones left are the psycho cop, the priest, and me. But isn't it weird? Those 3 were 3 people who passed out because they were aimed by the criminal. It's nothing you need to think about too hard. I don't want to doubt this, but in this case, there's only one possibility. There's proof that one of the testimonies was lying. Oh. In between these 3, someone lied? First, let's be honest as possible. Why don't you tell us what you were doing at 8:40 p.m. yesterday? I was in the 3rd floor area. I was hanging out on the casino side. Unfortunately, no one can testify for this, but I was also checking the front door. But as I mentioned, I can't prove it because there was no one around. Same here. What, there were no witnesses for the other 3? So you're saying all 3 are possible to commit the crime? Well, one of the 3 was not attacked by the killer, but what if they pretended to be attacked? I'm sorry, but Kinjo or Haramikaru, can you tell us the situation when you guys were attacked at dawn? This solves your doubts. When it was a little over 3 a.m., I was on the way from the 1st floor to the 2nd floor, and I usually went to the library side, so I moved there. When I went inside, Yamaguchi was down. I figured he was already dead by now, but at that time, it was necessary to find out if Yamaguchi was simply stunned or dead. But as I was trying to approach him... You were ambushed? Right, normally, I'm not always nervous, but I think I was off guard for a moment. Probably the killer aimed for that point and they showed Yamaguchi's body to me. They showed it to you? Yeah, do you understand what I mean? Since Yamaguchi has been moved to the library, it was not as bloody as it is now. Then in addition to simply confused with Inori, they use it as a bait to attract Kinjo? I wonder why I was only stunned and not killed. But they will regret it. In return for keeping me alive, I will find them out and they'll be punished accordingly. It was a similar situation for me, but it was probably earlier than Kinjo's. I was attacked near the stairs while trying to go up the 3rd floor. How about you, Mikaro? Well, it's roughly similar. I was attacked near the art room and lost my sight somehow, and when I woke up, it was inside the locker. But it all happened in the middle of the night, right? Now it seems that all 3 people were attacked at different times and there were no witnesses, so how do we know who the killer is? No, even if we were just attacked, doesn't it seem a little different in the method? The method? The attack method. Kinjo and Ohara, I know that we saw them get directly beaten and bleeding, but Mikara was not bleeding, nor assaulted in any way. Then you think Mikara is the culprit? Do I have to tell every little thing now? It's chloroform, that's what they did. Chloro what? So it was chloroform they used. It sounds rare, but it comes out in use for a lot of things. For example, tap your mouth with a handkerchief. That would be an effective way to get someone in a coma. You mean that stuff is in this school too? If you had searched the science lab with even a little interest, you would have been able to find it right away. But it seems your stupidity is not going away. Remembering the moment just before the attack, it must have been a handkerchief that was put in my mouth. Okay, if that's what it was. Who really is the culprit? When it comes to alibi, one of those 3 are still a suspect. Don't think about the process. Let's consider the cause. Why were they ambushed? Why only them? Why them? Well, the killer is a little strange. It wasn't enough to kill 2 people, so they attacked 3 other people. If we put it simply, isn't it because they wander around at nighttime? And wow, if they had some alarm for vibrations prepared in advance, or if the corpses were found, it would be a headache. Maybe, but... Oh, I have a little guess. I didn't say this because I wasn't sure, but the cell phone was used to kill Inori disappeared after I was attacked. I mentioned this to you, Maeda, didn't I? Yeah, you were looking for it in the 2nd floor hallway, right? Yeah, Uehara couldn't have the tools necessary for the crime, so they attacked him and took it from him. I see. Then there was a reason for Uehara's ambush. If that's the reason, why did they attack Kinjo? If Kinjo moves normally at the time of the crime, it would be difficult for the culprit to get out. Plus, he's the ultimate police officer, right? There were also the results of the two previous cases. Actually, in this case, Kinjo is struggling like that because the trial began without Kinjo collecting enough clues, right? Even though I did research properly, your Tony seemed as to pass it all to me. Hey, let's not do that. If the trial fails, Kinjo's life is also at risk, you know? Well, it seems like I can see the truth after coming this far. Huh? I've been suspicious of it, but when I think about the information I've got so far, I can see the silhouette of only one person, the killer. I believe some of you may have realized it. How about it? The killer's silhouette can be seen? What do you mean, Kinjo-kun? You know the killer? Everyone's remarks so far with the outline of the case and the alibis combined makes the person who is making contradictory statements. That person is the true culprit of this case. Contradictory statements? Is it them? If the alibis were all true, the culprit must be one, between Kinjo, Uehara, or Mikaro, the one who made a contradictory statement among them is... I mean, the only one who has the tools to do all of this is you, though. See? Don't tell me, was it you? Uehara? Kinji Uehara? Eh? What in blazes? I mean, he's the only one that has the tools to use to do the thing. What they did to Inori. Fuck you, priest. Save here. Let me just rest my voice a bit. Alright, then let's resume class trial. Kinji Uehara, was it you? Wait a minute, Uehara, this guy? Can you elaborate, why is it me? I'm not entirely convinced yet, but according to Kinjo, the killer said contradictory things. The alibi, if you are the one who said contradictions with your words without an alibi. There's only you, Uehara. Contradictory words, when did Uehara said those? Do you guys remember what Uehara said moments ago? He said after Uehara was attacked by the criminal in the middle of the night, the cell phone that he had before then disappeared. However, this statement doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not convinced about this, it's just speculation, but I couldn't think of anything else other than this as contradictory words. I'll explain so everyone can understand. First, it was 8:40 p.m. yesterday that the culprit killed Yamaguchi, right? If that's the case, then the culprit could have started destroying evidence such as hiding the spills or wiping the blood. And at this point, Inori must have been held in the hands of the culprit as well. Do you guys remember Inori's white coat was used for wiping the blood of Yamaguchi? Looking at this, it would be no exaggeration to say that Inori and Yamaguchi were both aimed at the same time. And everyone knew how Inori died? Inori died from a remote murder using a mobile phone's alarm. She was killed in a thoroughly planned crime. Just by seeing that they had already removed the white coat and it used to wipe Yamaguchi's blood, it was a bold move that was possible because everything was planned and prepared. To summarize this, they killed Yamaguchi first with full preparation, brought Inori into the trick just as planned. It must be said that everything was going according to their plan. All the preparations were completed since the beginning of time when they were attacked. Otherwise, they would have gambled the remaining risk. Indeed, after all those preparations. But then what? What's weird about that? Don't you realize Uehara said the cell phone was stolen in the middle of the night? Could the perpetrator, who acted so thoroughly and deliberately, carry out such bold actions with a mobile phone not in hand? Oh, wait a minute. As Mad said, at the time of killing Inori that way and attacking from yesterday at night, it must be said that they already devised a trick using the mobile phone. If they didn't have a cell phone in hand, You will think and act first, and then attack Uehara without knowing whether or not it will succeed and take their cell phone. However, the cell phone was in Uehara's possession since he found it. So how did the killer steal the phone from Uehara? It was either a pre-raid or it was never done in the first place. The answer to this question is very simple. If you were Uehara, you would have been able to execute the plan without any difficulty. Uehara did something like this? You are the culprit who killed Inori and Yamaguchi? Huh. What? Hey, what now? What's so funny? No, I apologize, but isn't that a little funny? I am a murderer who believes in God and tells the teachings of the Father. This is outrageous. So Uehara isn't the killer. He's not, right? Of course I am not the culprit. If I say that, would you believe me? Huh? According to your reasoning so far, I'm the only one who meets the conditions of being the culprit. But I can't believe you guys just by saying that I'm the culprit in such a situation. Well, I'm 99.99% certain that you are the culprit. Then can I prove myself with the remaining 0.01%? What? I said according to your reasoning, which means if your reasoning is wrong, I will not become the culprit either. Are you saying you have room to argue with? Of course, from now on, let me prove my innocence by showing that your reasoning is wrong. Are you prepared? Another one of these? The reason you point me to the culprit is because I don't have an alibi at the time of the crime and at nighttime. The contradictory words about the cell phone, correct? There's nothing I can say about an alibi, but it's nothing but an assertion that you say that I'm the culprit with just that. So let me show you why it's not strange at all if I had my phone stolen that night. Your reasoning is well put. But is that really the right answer? Didn't you know the premise is wrong? For example, would Yamaguchi really be dead at 4 in the evening? That was all over already. Yamaguchi is irrelevant because the reason why Uehara is suspected is because by evening Inori was already captured. It doesn't make sense the cell phone was removed after nighttime. Would a killer who worked so much act rashly without preparation? I'm talking about before that. Whether Yamaguchi or Inori were caught, it means nothing. It was morning that we found the body. If I left the body here until then, would it have been possible to find it? Doesn't explain the bloody locker though. You left the corpse alone? Do you really believe that? Do you have any evidence to deny this? Of course, remember the locker where Mikharu was kept inside? Inside the locker was covered in blood. Mikharu did not bleed, so what's the reason for this? And as Mikharu said earlier, she said the method they used was chloroform, so it didn't bleed from any injury. If that's the case, someone else was in there inside, dropping blood. That's right, Yamaguchi's corpse must have been inside the locker when he died recently, and then the killer stunned Mikharu and Kinjo, the only eyes who wandered around nighttime. That's it. Then after attacking Mikharu, they moved Yamaguchi's body to the library and put Mikharu in his place, right? To be precise, they struck Mikharu ahead of me and stunned her, then moved the corpse to the library, which made me off guard. This is the order in which they were attacked, capturing Inori, killing Yamaguchi, and stuns Mikharu. Last step, it was aimed at me. So what do you think now, Uehara? The reasoning we made in front of us has fundamentally no issues, no matter what excuses you try to argue, it will be the same. It's pretty hard to believe it, but if you're the real culprit, don't drag this long and confess. Doubting any more like this is something that I don't want to do to anyone. As Amanda says, it's unbelievable that this guy is the culprit. A quiet, devout believer of God, becoming a murderer that killed 2 people. There's no evidence, no excuse, no reasoning about his usual actions or being a Christian. We just have to focus on picking out one person who can only be seen as the culprit. So then, what are you going to do now, murderer? Uehara. Yes, I apologize. I was wrong. Are you admitting it? No, I doubted your reasoning. But the time when Yamaguchi died and the time difference tricks seem to be all correct. So according to that reasoning, Uehara is the only one who remains as the culprit? Definitely not. Everyone has alibis except for me, Mikaro, and Kinjo. But because I'm the one who kept the cell phone, I'm being mistaken for the culprit. What do you mean by mistaken? You are the culprit. There's nothing to doubt and you have nothing else to say. Are you still unaware of all the conditions that can be committed when all of them are pointing at you? I am aware that I'm the only one who meets the criminal's conditions. Among the living people, that is. What? This guy, how long are you going to force this? What is being forced here is that I'm the culprit, but I am not. But because you guys are so driven by this, it's no wonder you're desperately trying to get me to accept these charges, aren't you? If that's the case, I'll have to point myself being innocent as the blanket, and everyone will die together. To be so stubborn like that, so you're not the culprit, is that it? You fool, they're trying to trick us like that. We can't be sure of that. I'm not convinced that Uehara is the culprit at all. You guys are stupid. What did you just say? All the evidence points to Uehara as the culprit, and all the tricks are undeniable. Why is Uehara still fighting? Is there something to make any conclusive objection? Now, there still remains one path to make you consider me not being as the culprit. I hope after you hear this, it will change your mind. Among the living people, what do you mean? Think careful, there must have been someone who could commit crime besides me. For example, Kanata Inori, I mean. Inori is dead though. Why did the culprit kill 2 people in the first place? Doesn't that feel odd? This is my idea. Inori kills Yamaguchi and then she kills herself. Stupid, do you really think that makes sense? Oh, it doesn't make sense. Inori is also capable of committing series of crime. You would know that best. Obviously, there's no alibi, but in order to tape herself and die by dropping a cell phone, suicide doesn't seem possible. Then Inori is not the culprit? In other words, according to my reasoning, Inori killed Yamaguchi at 8:40 after hiding Yamaguchi in the locker. She went through the hallways at nighttime. I was ambushed and attacked after the other victim. For the last act, she went to the science lab she had set up. But wait, Tyra was there though. Tyra was there. What? Why? Uehara, that's wrong. Your rebuttal is full of contradictions. Is it Maeda? Why is that? All of you were in the dormitory at nighttime and attacking Kinjo. Mikara and me would not have been impossible for Inori at all. As you say, Inori killed Yamaguchi, attacked Mikaro, Kinjo, and O'Hara, finished all the work including the blood transfusion packs, and finally went to the science lab to prepare to commit suicide, right? Yeah, and no one saw it, which means you can't deny Inori's crime. There are no means, am I correct? No, they saw it. The reason why Inori can't be the culprit is because someone saw it. What? Tyra, you must have been around that time, right? By the science room just before nighttime yesterday, you said the door didn't open. Huh? Yeah, the door didn't open. It's weird, right? According to O'Hara's words, Inori at that time, after moving Yamaguchi's corpse and attacking Ginjo, etc., you need to be prepared, but why didn't the science lab door open? That's right, the answer will come out eventually, because Inori was already tied up in the science lab at that time. But of course, it would be impossible to open the door from outside if you wanted to walk through the entrance. If you know I was committing a crime from outside at that time, the science lab was already been collapsed. It would be a huge contradiction. Wait a minute. What do you think, Orihara? Can you still say that Inori can commit crimes? Wait and listen, just because the science lab was locked, doesn't it mean it was locked with a latch? When Sire tried to enter, the door could have been locked with the lock function attached to the door itself. Oh my, but then what about this? As a result of my investigation, I found out that the door to the science lab did not have a lock function. There was no space to apply a key lock in the first place. It's all over, Uehara Kinji. No further rebuttal is possible. Now confess in good faith. Uehara, please stop and admit it already. Uehara. Why are you? I thought I was lucky that I defeated Tsurugi Kinji and Mikaro Ray, but why? Why can trash without talent like you can drag me to this point? Uehara, you know your character collapsed. Uehara, calm down a little. Shut up, you bitches. This bitch broke down my plan simply because you tried to open the damn door to the science lab. Eek. It's all over. I just heard you loud and clear. Doesn't matter if it's a confession, right? So you came down in the end from mental breakdown. It's pathetic. Shut up. I'm still here. Wait and see. Yeah, that's it. I still need proof. There's no evidence if I'm the culprit. Show me the evidence. Come on now. You're the only one who doesn't have an alibi, right? Shut up, you X-worth bastard. Do you want to get stuck in the ground from head to toe, huh? Why did you suddenly turn into such a vile criminal? Not like a criminal, but he is a criminal. So you want to admit it even though you are the only one who could do this? Just ignore him and vote, will you? If you look at what Uehara just said, what's the point of incapacitating Kinjo and Mikaro? And this is almost like a confession, right? I'll kill you. I'm gonna kill the bastards who are going to vote right now, treating me as a criminal without evidence at all. And you're like thinking this is all done. What do we do? Uehara, if I show you the evidence, are you finally going to admit it? Oh, I'll admit it, if there's evidence like that. Not speculative remarks or alibi blanks. Real, physical evidence, you bastard. There might be. What? Mana, you know this, but it's only going to be slower if you let him catch the holes with poor evidence. Unfortunately, I can't help you here, because I have nothing more to come up with. Will you be okay? Yeah, it's okay. Uehara, who's not saint, is just going to forcefully scream against the opponent. I'll make sure to present the proof correctly, and then you will finally admit it. Don't joke around, Yukimura. You're just a lucky, incompetent human being. Uehara, from now on, I'll show you conclusive evidence that you are the culprit of this case. It may be a little sloppy, but if my predictions are correct, you will have no other choice but to admit it. Yeah, is this fun for you? Do it then, do whatever you want. If it's evidence or unreasonableness, I'll make you a criminal and execute you myself for making fun of an innocent person. Uehara is certainly not sane right now, and about this evidence, I can't say for sure. But I do believe, not only in me, but I believe in my friends too. What was the thing again? Marks used made up. Speech bubbles, remark, crosshair, push. Oh, you mean the gun thingy? Alright. Shift is reload. Alright. Let's do this. Wow, this is a very short case, if you ask me. Probably the shortest one. Damn it. Oh, come on. Oh, you piece of shit. So many life points. What? Miss? Come on, it's too fast. Reload. Oh, really? Come on. Why my life point? Maybe I should have gone for Tamori's auto reload function. Fucking. Ah, too slow. Come on. God, what the fuck? You want me to reload? You want me to reload this part? Oh, fuck this part. Why did it not shoot? Fucking. Shoot. God fucking. God fucking damn it! Fuck this part! Ugh, God fucking. Ugh. I can't even buy that shit. I can't go on anymore. Fuck this part. Where did I go wrong? I mean, what am I supposed to do in the save file? It doesn't even have the decency to help me buy the dumb shit to help me with this fucking terminate talk shit. Yeah. Oh god. Oh god. Fucking damn it. Kill me. It's such a delay when you're shooting the bullets and they're fucking reloading. Does it have to be this fucking long? Why not just start over from the terminating talking shit? Oh boy. Oh my god. So many things to skip. Oh, finally. Oh, I've been pressing the Z button for what feels like fucking forever. Reload! Holy fuck! Reload! Oh, shit! Fucking really? Oh, thank God! Oh, worst fucking Terminator talk ever in the history of forever. Should have brought Tamari's skill. Who knew that would be helpful? Well, it's 90. Fuck that. Uhara, unfortunately for you, there's already clear evidence of your crime. You can only be said to be the culprit, with this conclusive physical evidence. What? Huh. There's nothing like that. What is that, Maeda-kun? That's... Unfortunately, I do not know. Huh? Stop joking around. However, Mikaro knows it. Mikaro? Hold on, where does this confrontation come from? You aren't trying to rely on my reasoning, are you? Mikaro told you, didn't you? No matter what happens, she has an insurance to cover her life when the aspect of the trial remains unsolved. And there's a coroner with no answer. You will show us the last piece of evidence. Insurance? Maybe there's something only that woman knows. It's a little frustrating, but I know this isn't the time. I'll stay out of this. Wait a minute, I did in fact said to the incompetent, but it's not like that. The killer's already cornered and running crazy, right? Why do you think I'm going to let you know? This woman doesn't even want to cooperate in this situation. Look at us, Mikaro, we're believing in you. So, are you finished then? It's over? After all, man has been just bluffing and throwing unfounded accusations. Your proof is a Mikaro that doesn't even want to cooperate. It's just great, she knows nothing. There's no physical evidence that I'm the culprit. Me? Not know anything? Huh? Mikaro, are you angry? The nasty pig killer. Where do you want your funeral? Can you tell me? Are you going to try provocation at this stage? Fine, I'll write your will then. It doesn't matter if I vote for Kenji Uehara and the trial as is, but if I do, it feels like I'm just being beaten. Whatever you're talking about. Maybe you all remember it. When I was investigating after the incident, I asked all of you to show me your right hand. Yeah, you... Huh? To everyone. You did, but I didn't know the meaning of it. You did that strange act to all of us? Wait, I didn't know about this. You didn't do that to me, right? You woke up late. I didn't have a chance to do that. Well, there are some mysteries that were solved before that. After asking for my right hand to show, she held me tight as if wrapping my right hand. Was there something about that? I was surprised. I wasn't really sure what it was. I didn't think she was that kind of person. But what's up with that? The reason I did that was to check the back of your right hand. The reason I wrapped it with my hand was because I needed darkness. Darkness? If you're wondering what I'm talking about, why don't you all give it a try? Look at the dark side by covering the back of your right hand. It's all clear. Even if you ask me to wrap it up, it's just the back of my hand. What do you expect to see? Well, I definitely told you to try it. Everyone. Why are you staying still, Kenji Uehara? Uehara? Hey, stay still, you. Let me go. Go away. Hey, what the hell is this on the back of your hand? I don't know. I don't know anything. Oh, please, you must know. What you got there is luminous paint. Luminous paint? I was marked by you? Don't joke around. You and I never met at the time of the crime. There wouldn't have been a time to be marked like this. Oh my, why are you saying that? You definitely met with me, right? when you put me to sleep with chloroform. I don't know what you're talking about, so it seems you think I'm the culprit. Is that it? And even if that were the case, isn't it obvious that the killer attacked you? But here you're just claiming that you've used luminous paint in my hand just because that's your own opinion. I'm sorry, Mikhail, but this isn't possible without knowing in advance that you'll be attacked. This is why you guys are so pathetic. Did you think I wasn't prepared for anything and going as usual every night? Prepared? No way. The one who put this luminous paint, it was you? That's right. Do you think I'm stupid enough and I'll trust you guys when I don't know the outcome? Before Maggie Gyoka died, I was always prepared for anything. Well, besides the glowing paint, I have prepared other tricks. I am a woman and have no idea who and when someone will come at me. So I tried to use glowing paint only in the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario? Are you saying even if you die due to the glowing paint, we can find out who did it? Is that what you mean? By the way, Mikhail's selection of words, it just feels a little erotic. What? Fortunately, I only fainted this time, but my life was in danger. Should I say that I was lucky? I was trying to use luminous paint for the purpose of something else, like a dying message, but I can live like this and drive off the killer's smug face with one sentence. But even so, at some point, it could have... You're an idiot, aren't you? If you're curious, you'd better think about which hand you put chloroform in my mouth. Ugh. In other words, Mikhail said that the killer put his hand on her mouth, meaning you applied the glowing paint before fainting? Just before you lost consciousness? Mikhail, what a scary person. What do you think? Are you still going to hit the ball, killer? Not yet. All she said is just lies, because I just rubbed this glowing paint by myself yesterday. It has nothing to do with this now. This woman is a culprit. You just said something you don't know about with your own mouth just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? Don't make me laugh. Don't joke around. I'm not the culprit. I'm not the culprit, okay? Urahara, stop it now. It's already over. Don't make me laugh. There's no one on your side already, Urahara. Speaking any more than this, it's nothing more than a futile effort. If you're still not willing to admit it, I'll organize the case from the beginning and let you admit. You will have no choice but to admit it. Let's go. Oh, she's so cute, but she died though. So, first Inoue was kidnapped. Kakaru Yamaguchi got attacked, sliced the thing. Put him in a locker, yeah. Then wrap the thingy. Blah 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 blah. Wait, was there a question mark? Nope, there isn't. And then you put the mobile phone, the taser. Inoi's fainted body. Yeah. Then, well, they were just doing their own thing, etc., etc. Okay, an attack happened. Act 3, blood fusion, we're missing. Morning, no one's in the breakfast. Then put it here.
これが事件の全部だよ。
First, the start of the case begins with the criminal attacks Yamaguchi and Inori, and I don't know why the two were targeted by the culprit. But the killer must have taken Yamaguchi by some means first. And then they took him to the art room and slashed Yamaguchi's neck. This time took place while at 8:40, which is also listed in the Monokuma file. However, this was not at 8:40 a.m. It was last night at 8:40 p.m. In other words, the killer committed a bold crime while we were still roaming around the place. Bold. Afterwards, the killer put the corpse in a locker on the art room to hide Yamaguchi's body. The culprit who succeeded in killing Yamaguchi immediately focused his efforts on dealing with the crime scene. They opened up the sharp that prevents blood from splattering, cleaned up the murder weapon, and used as the intake and wiped the blood with Inori's white coat that had been removed beforehand. However, while using the tarp, a small hole was left due to the killer's mistake, and the white coat was not properly erased. The white coat could not have properly erased, there you go. Thanks to this, it cleared a lot of circumstances surrounding the methods of disposal. Anyway, as the art room where Yamaguchi was killed became clean, this time they devised a trick to kill a second victim, Inori. That's right, it involves the phone and stun gun. It was a method of electrocuting by drowning in water the stun gun at a predetermined time, using a vibration function. To do this, the killer went to the science lab and first fixed Inori's whole body with tape to keep them from moving. And the water from the sink in the science lab was turned to the maximum capacity. After a few hours in that state, the science lab was overflowing with water like a bathhouse. There was one more thing. The killer connected the phone to the stun gun and placed it in an angle as if it were to fall from the desk. After they set the phone alarm to 8:30 a.m. When this happens, the alarm turns on the next morning and the phone makes a vibration movement in minutes. And then the phone starts to fall off along with the stun gun because of that vibration. When everything was set in stone, the killer locked the door with a latch so no one could interfere with the tricks arranged in the lab. After everything was done, the killer probably thought most of them, including me, won't come out of their private rooms because it was nighttime hours, but the problem was that Kinjo and Mikaro went around openly at nighttime. As long as they thought that the time when the crime was done in the morning and the trick that everything was set in advance is discovered, in the middle of the night everything would be over for them. So the killer thought to keep Kinjo and Mikaro from moving until the morning after. First, the killer attacked Mikaro with chloroform and brought her into the art room. They took out Yamaguchi's body that had been in the locker until then and put Mikaro inside instead. And then Yamaguchi's body was used as bait to lure Kinjo. The killer put Yamaguchi's corpse in the library, made some extra work to make Kinjo discover the body, and then attacked Kinjo from behind in a vigilant gap. When Kinjo and Mikaro were successfully disabled and no one could interfere, the killer took a breather and started one last final act. Once the morning was near, the killer went to the infirmary and packed a large amount of blood transfusion packs and spread them in Yamaguchi's body to make it look like it just died and the bleeding was fresh. And then they sprinkled a certain amount of blood on themselves as to make it look like they were ambushed by the killer. In the morning after last night of so many things happening at once, we noticed that a few people were missing, so we moved to search for them in each room of the school. Then we met where the killer was lying down near the stairs. After we divided into two groups, we decided to search the second and third floors. And the search of the second floor found the fallen Kinjo. The search of the third floor found the trapped Mikaro. Afterwards, when a member of the third floor checks for an abnormality in the science lab, he tries to open the door, the mobile phone, and the stun gun hit the water at the killer's preset time, falling. Shit. Into the water, killing Inori on the spot. Soon after, we managed to open the door to the science lab. At a time that couldn't be more ideal for the killer, Inori's body and Yamaguchi's body were almost found simultaneously. The one who has done a formidable job, who killed 2 people overnight plus injured 2 people. The identity of this heinous and cruel criminal. Cruel criminal. It's none other than you, Kinji Uehara. Complete. There's no place to run anymore, Uehara. Uehara? Excellent. As Maeda said, no matter how badly it was, this is it. It seems this was my limit. What? All of a sudden he came back to normal? Was that it? He must have been acting like Katano. That means, did you just admit it? That you are the culprit? Yeah, I am. I am the culprit. You didn't earn any medals. Fuck this condition. Holy fucking... You have got to be kidding me. Well, now I've been watching everything. It seems it's okay to say that you made a decision at this point. This time, no matter how much I played the role of the judge, I'm really sad, but I seem to have been too much of a dead weight. How to get rid of this anger? It's a vote time of anger. Because this happened, you guys will now have to vote with the switch in front of you. The result of this voting, who will become the blanket? And will your answer be the correct one or the wrong one? Now, what's it gonna be? By the way, isn't this... What? Why did it skip? Whatever. Yeah, as for the result of your vote, your choice was... The correct answer, the identity of the blanket who killed 2 people. Miss Inoue Yamaguchi-kun was... Kinji Uehara. Huh? What is it? Did someone thought I was gonna say those lines before voting? Uehara-kun. From the second half of the trial, we've been almost certain of it, I guess. Why did you kill them? I'm sorry. You're sorry? There's no excuse. Is that all you have to say after killing someone? Plus killing 2 of our group. Do you know that makes you a serial killer? Weren't you very agitated arguing back a little while ago, Uehara? Why did you suddenly become so quiet? I only thought that more talk would delay the inevitable. I had a reason to live and survive this trial, even if I had to do that sin. That's right, if you found out that you did the murder, you are going to die. He already knew that the moment he was caught. No, that's not the reason I did it. That's not it. Your motive? Was there something else? Motive. He got murdered to get out and escape. Tomorrow was the secret note. Does that mean the original motive of all these events is also the same this time? Was it the motive this time, the thing that you desperately wanted in that video? And that you wished for? You mean you had a wish that you wanted to get by killing 2 people? Wrong. There are a few things I must correct you before that. You are right about everything. The plan and killings are correct, but I didn't mean to kill 2 people from the start. Huh? You may look at this as an excuse, but only then that person's death will become colorless, so let me speak. Maeda, your reasoning is wrong. The only person I was trying to kill was Kanata Inoue. Why? You did it in the end. It was too late and also too clumsy to plan serial killings. Your execution had a sense of improvisation. First, according to the rules of the school, serial killing would be more damning than profitable for the culprit. So what? Were you trying to kill one person to make your sin lighter? I mentioned this was not meant to be an excuse, but you're saying it as it is one. However, I have something to say. I'd appreciate it if you listen quietly. Funny you say such a thing. Do you think I'm going to listen to a killer's request? Kinjo, I'm sorry, but you try to be quiet. Tch. The reason I did this murder is not very relevant to your motives, as you may have guessed, but I'll talk about that later. Inori was always in the infirmary, so she was very easy to target. This probably happened during Tyra's uproar, so most of you were in the dormitory side. I took that gap and kidnapped Inori from the infirmary, moved to the art room on the 3rd floor, and tried to stab Inori with a plaster weapon. However, that's when he came and threw me away. The one and only Yamaguchi, who I thought he was in the dormitory side with you guys. Inori, and you! Ohara, what are you doing? Stop! Why is Ohara doing this? This is not a time for that. I have to take Inori and run away. Damn it, why is Inori unconscious? Oh no, before that I have to get away from Ohara. I have to go and check where everyone is. I didn't want to do this, but you forced me. Can't help it, Yamaguchi. Oh crap, it started to rain. I'm sorry. I didn't hold a grudge nor hatred to both of you. Forgive me. Keep Inori alive. It has already become irreversible. I'm sorry. No. Inori. Oh, it's Inori. That guy was a wonderful person. How many people can run without having a single thought about their own lives to instead save others? Then Yamaguchi died because he witnessed it, and you were forced to kill him? Yes, originally, Inori should have been the one to be cut to death with a plaster weapon in the art room. However, because Yamaguchi intervened, I changed the plan in a rush. Now that I hear this, the front and back are starting to fit better. It was especially strange because of Inori Kanada's white coat wiping the blood in the art room. That couldn't be helped, right? When you killed Kakeru Yamaguchi, Kanada Inori, the person he was holding had his blood splattered on her. Oh, that's true. Come to think of it, when Uehara said that he had a head injury, the wound was real. That was not acting, but being pushed by Yamaguchi. So that's the story. Anyway, you're a serial killer who killed 2 people. That remains the same no matter what you say to anyone. But why did Uehara attempt to murder? I can't even imagine. It's hard to explain. How should I say this? Wait, before that, can I ask something? When Tyra's commotion happened, you said you kidnapped Inori. If Tyra didn't have a commotion, what would you have done? I mean, you wouldn't have known that. It would have been difficult to schedule the kidnapping. Why are you asking that so suddenly, Kurokawa? What are you trying to say? In other words, this is what the woman said. How did you know the Tyra's uproar would happen? Oh, they knew? Think about it. If you had decided to kill, you would have a plan to execute it in advance. How could they calculate the timing to kidnapping Inori without knowing that everyone was gathered in the dormitory because of Tyra's bustle? Well, I'm not sure what Tyra's situation was in the first place. Oh, so after all, it was Kurokawa. You seem to have power to pick words by its very own core. It's natural to think like Kurokawa. It would be strange to hear that. The plan looks as if I knew in advance that Tyra would go on and make a ruckus. The answer to this is simple. It's because I knew in advance. How? Are you a psychotherapist? You knew Tyra's mental state and predicted the future? I don't think he's talking about that. Speak, I'll listen to this. It's not that big of a mystery. Someone just informed me. Tyra's going to make a fuss soon. There'll be an empty frame for you. Not anyone can tell you that. You don't tell me. There's one more thing I have to apologize for doing to you guys. In particular you, Maeda. I should apologize more than the others. Eh? I am... Yeah, it's a very obvious story that the leader from the darkness gave Kenji Uehara intimidation and threats from the shadows and led him the chance to kill a couple of times. What? What did you just say? This is blimey. Why are you suddenly interrupting? Huh? Did you not hear me correctly? Can I say it one more time? Yeah, it was a very obvious story that the leader from the darkness gave Kenji Uehara intimidation and threats from the shadows that led him the chance to kill a couple of times. Uehara-kun. The traitor? Anyways, that's the end of the story, so we're done chatting. If you guys continue on and on like this, you will be dragging again while doing reminiscent scenes or whatever. Wait, you're the traitor, but you got blackmailed? What are you talking about? Even if I'm the traitor, I don't know much. I don't know who the mastermind is, and why the mastermind is doing this to us. However, when we first came here, Monokuma approached me and awoke me before you guys. They were holding our church's children hostage. They said they'll give me information, and will release them if I do what I am told to do. What in the heavens? Wait a minute, cathedral children, calm down, speak slowly. The cathedral where I belong to, or rather there's a facility that takes care of the children, who have nowhere to go. That is entirely in the hands of Monokuma. So I was threatened under that pretext. Did you really fall for that kind of crap? That was all a bluff from that bear. That was not a bluff. He showed me the video, and I was shown having a conversation with the children myself. What did they ask? What were you instructed to do? Basically, I had a surveillance camera, so I was filming everything that was happening in every blind spot and sent it to the mastermind. More importantly, if killing were happening between students and are in a stalemate, I would commit the murder myself. Oh. If I don't comply with this, they said he would murder the children instantly. I didn't have a choice. So did you commit the murder because there was a deadlock after Ayame Hatano? That was the motive, so this time our motive, it was useless to anyone? If you look at it that way, you may not be able to see anything. But Monokuma in that time, he said, is the time, yours, so you are instructed to move. Was the time when the announcement of the motive came. In the completely soundproof private room, showed me the children. If you kill this time, your children will be free. If you don't get caught, you can get out from the school. A fully soundproof room. No wonder this motive was purely to deliver the orders to Kenji Uehara. You are so using the lives of children to threaten Uehara-kun. Was that unfair? Then I'll make it easy for you. But, this is not a blackmail. I just gave you a choice. If Uehara-kun didn't want to kill, he could have refused. Don't mess with me. You said moments ago that there were threats. And you know, it's a narrative thing. Don't think too deeply. The last time was so rotten because I couldn't let those children die. You guys, I really have no face to show you. Of course, I understand to some extent that this was forced upon you, but would you still have to get your hands bloody? Was it that necessary to kill? Do you think those kids want you to be a bloody murderer? Just like the kids don't want me to be a killer, I don't want kids to lose their lives. There was only one way. It's enough with me just to fall into hell. You don't want kids to lose their lives? Then, are you saying when you kill someone, you don't know, like Inoue and Yamaguchi, they will lose their lives as well? Inoue and Yamaguchi also have friends, family, and you say there are some people you don't want them to die? You don't even know the details, and you're worried about the children, right? Strange, Kinjo. My logic shouldn't be any different from yours, but you're getting heated, aren't you? The logic of a killer is the same as mine? What are you talking about? Discard prime numbers for the majority. Isn't that what you said? I sacrificed the lives of 15 people and took the precedence over the lives of 100 cathedral children. Shit. Of course, that doesn't mean I'm allowed to commit murder. But Kinjo, you put Mikaro, Tamori, and me in danger. The one who went saying the exact same thing. Wouldn't it be necessary to reconsider your stance at least once, Kinjo? And I know too well that I'm an ugly being. Won't be enough to go to the Lord's side, but it's enough to suffer, go to hell and die. But it's fine. Although I will not be able to meet those kids because I won't be able to live, I was able to save their lives with my sacrifice. Monokuma, you kept your promise. Of course, even though Umehara's crime was revealed in the verge of being executed, he still murdered as I ordered him to. Since the moment you killed Yamaguchi-kun, the children have already been released. The children. They are safe, right? Oh, are you curious? So do you want to see the proof then? Video, please! As the corridors darken, there's a noise on the screen that appears from somewhere. What it showed was winter in the dark street, less than 45 years old, mostly looking like elementary school students. It was the bodies of many children. Some parts have already been corrupted, deformed, and transformed. There were kids whose bones began to appear. A child that its body had a broken shape that was unknown to me. Only their small bodies were telling me that they were kids. Shit. Hey, did you play the wrong video? Those clothes. Kana. That's Haruki. That hat was from Mitsuki. Uehara. Nakuma. How did this happen? You promised. Huh? Promised? Didn't I keep it? I definitely promised to release the kids. Have I ever told you I would let them be? Boo. Uehara, wake up! Scumbag! This is inhuman. How could you do this? Because I'm not a human, but a bear. And Uehara-kun, don't be so sad. It's been a while since you've been dead anyway. Soon you'll meet them. Meet them? Yeah, shouldn't we start soon? Execution time! I'll make you follow your kids, so be patient. Wait a minute, this is too much. I'm sorry, but I don't have much time either. I've got a busy schedule here. Now then, let's get started. I've prepared a very special punishment for Kinji Uehara, the ultimate priest. Let's go with lots of energy. It's punishment time. God damn. God damn, that was brutal. He was such a good priest. Adios and amen. This is unfair. It's really too much. Uehara was killed, like Higa Natano, horribly executed. But Uehara didn't stay sane until the end. Couldn't protect the children because he was tricked by Monokuma. In the end, he killed Inori and Yamaguchi for nothing. With all the devastating facts, Uehara's spirit was broken, executed thinking and recalling until the last minute. Kobazik, where are you going? This thing called Monokuma, I won't be satisfied until I beat that thing. If you do that, you'll just die alone. Why don't you stay still? But, that's right, if you're angry with me, you can't help it. Because it's you guys who did this and I'm just following the rules. It's not a bad thing. You think you're so smart, Monokuma. Huh? I never intend to sympathize with the killer, but this time, it seems a little different. You always say I as a judge should not participate in the trial, but in this case you influenced the case itself, let alone the trial. According to Kinji Uehara, they were told that Taira would cause a commotion soon. Using that framework, Kinji Uehara was able to carry out the crime with ease. This is not a motivation level or anything like that. This is enough to call you an accomplice. Huh? Is it? Really? So what are you trying to say? What I'm saying? That's what this side wants to say. What the hell do you want us to do? If the purpose was to kill us, it would have been possible to annihilate all of us already. If that's not the case, it's also strange that they try to kill us by buying a murderer, like in the case of Kinji Uehara. There's no sense of purpose in your actions. What the hell are you after, while making us do all of this? Kinji-kun, you idiot. Where in the world would a mastermind tell you its purpose, say, yep, this is it? Well, even if I want to tell you guys, it's not worth telling you guys. What do you mean? No big deal, just that I hate you. What? Monokuma, hey. Monokuma used to speak and act as usual, suddenly stopped moving, as if it was a ridiculous act. He stiffened on the stop, as if time had stopped. What happened? It suddenly freezed up. That's great, let's just hit it this one time. Please calm down. Guys, let's go. Where are we going? Why so suddenly, Mikako-chan? There's no time, I'll explain it as we go. So where are we heading? To the warehouse. There are secret stairs in the warehouse. But we can't go down there anyway, right? Do you want to be honeycombed by the gun? What? Mikako died, no! I don't know. She seems okay though. What happened? The machine gun doesn't react at all. I'm not sure, but I guess that means Monokuma was lying. Why don't we do the chores later and go in already? I don't think that was a lie. The machine gun is running properly. But it's not attacking us, right? Hey, occult girl, you said you were gonna explain as we go. What the hell is all of this? I noticed for a while before the class trial started, but I only noticed it for a second. Now I can say for certain, Monokuma had a power outage. Power outage? While Monokuma was shutting down, all of the school's facilities stopped operating. That's why there's no problem with this machine gun here. Or like entering the bathroom of the opposite sex and other things. That sounds like paradise. Yeah, please ignore the pervert here and continue explaining. I've been investigating the secret stairs since I discovered it. I checked by throwing a barrel, but the machine gun reacted and responded. Wow, so it's safe because Monokuma is stopped now? But what happens when Monokuma suddenly starts running? We all together be honeycombed. Eee. However, this crisis is an opportunity. We can finally check what's down here. That's fine and all, but how the hell did you know all that? You know the structure, but more than that, you know how Monokuma operates? What now? You've been so good at talking and acting so far. Oh, we've experienced that already. Lol. When will this staircase end? How far are we going down? We're here. Where is it? Huh. Here it is. Is this a dead end rather than a way out? I thought the exit wouldn't come up so easily. Apart from that, this room seems quite interesting. A prison in such a deep underground? Is that it? Wow, you came! But before anything, well done. Monokuma, how did you move? Well, maybe I just pretended to stop. What the heck? Putting that away. What are you talking about? Didn't I tell you there was a terrifying creature trapped under the staircase? I just disposed of it a while ago. So if it weren't for me, you guys would have been in a terrible situation at that point. Dispose of it? There's no way. How? Huh? I thought you guys would come here sooner or later, so I transferred it. This is not the only prison here. I don't know what you're talking about, but in the end, you're saying there isn't an escape route here? Escape? You guys, did you really just came down here hoping for a way out? Sorry, but there's no such thing. You guys are nuts if you think there's a way out. There's no other way out than to kill. So how about you give up on that idea? I hate this. I hate it. I don't like to watch killing each other anymore. I want to leave. Let me out of here. No, please, someone save me. That's it. Become even more desperate. False alarm. False hope. He had no choice but to be helpless beaten by Monokuma. We had no choice. Among the people we had, 2 in an execution, there's no choice but to be on the palm of Monokuma. And we didn't know yet. But the despair was just getting started. I need to buy Tomori's skill. Lamps below the betrayer? Alright. Survive is left. Alright. This is it. Yes, please, thank God. Okay. Terminate talk, need to buy Tomori's skill or else I'm gonna die again. No monocoins, fuck. That's my bad for not buying it earlier. So yeah, this Danganronpa, another third trial. Holy shit. Is it just me or is it really, really short? I'm glad there's no, what is that thing? Terminate, guessing the Korean letters. I forgot. So yeah, this is Danganronpa another. If you want to try the game for yourselves, the links are in the description. Translation made by Zephyrum. The links are in the description below. Follow them for more Danganronpa related stuff. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.